Hi, I'm Brad Sugars and welcome to the Business Basics. Today we're actually talking on the subject of money. Let's look at money from from an investor's point of view. You see, most people in life go through life making money, spending money, making money, spending money, and very rarely do they ever invest any money. And, very simply put, years ago you lived on less than you make now, so you could probably live now on less than you actually make now. The question is, and we go back to The Richest Man in Babylon, one of the first books I ever read on the subject of money, and you start thinking, well, this whole process of tithe 10%, save 10% and invest 10%, does it actually work? Well, let me show you why I invest. And now it's far more than 10% of my earnings that we invest, but you've got to look at it from a different perspective. It starts out at that very small amount and gradually gets bigger. Albert Einstein was one of the, preeminent brains of our time, I guess, on the planet. And, well, when he was asked what he thought was one of the most incredible things, he actually named the eighth wonder of the world the compound interest. The combination of time and, a rate of interest gives you this compounding effect that becomes incredible. And it's not just in investing, it's in business, it's in all different areas. And if we look at it, it's really this critical mass chart where we see that growth, and it looks like there's nothing happening at the beginning, but gradually it starts to happen, and then with time. This is why when people say to me, how long can you teach me to get rich quick? Well, yeah, if your definition of quick is 10 years. The problem is, for most people, they want it quicker than that. But look, the reality is 10 years is faster than never. And that's when most people will end up rich. Absolutely never. Why? They never start investing. In fact, let's look at the numbers. If you take a look at these numbers here with me, if I take 1 cent, now imagine I'm going to double that 1 cent every day for 31 days. Now, how much do you think that's going to end up at? Where do you think it's going to end? We're going to get to what sort of a number? 100, 200, 500? No. It actually, at the end of 31 days, is over $10,700,000. Now, here's the problem. If you wait 1 day to start investing, if you wait till tomorrow, instead of starting today, you wait till tomorrow, you've just lost 1 day. So, of course, that's 1 cent difference, isn't it? No. It's actually $5 million difference at the other end. And this is the problem with it. Most people think about investing today and the return they get today. The reality of when we should be looking at is the return in 10 years, 20 years, in this case 30 years of what we're looking at, of doubling it at 1 cent at a time. You can see the numbers as it grows. It's not rocket science for me here, gang. It's very, very simple. As the numbers grow, as you double it every day, it starts to compound. And that's where the real resulting effect comes from, and where that self-perpetuating critical mass kicks in. But ultimately, we've got to look at some of the things that help us understand investing. The rule of 72 is just one of those. If you divide 72 by the interest rate, let's say the interest rate was 7.2%, then of course how long does it take to double? 10 years. You've got to look at it and then what interest rate do I need, what amount do I need in order to be able to develop a great retirement strategy for myself. Investing does that. In fact, investing does many things. Let's take a look at the comparative between a job and an investment. It's very obvious, and I'll let you read through these as they come up. But look, I can't help but stress enough the fact that investing creates a level of freedom. It creates a passive income. It creates, you get to buy back your time. Retirement, my friend, is not a function of age. It's a function of cash flow, how much money you've got coming in, whether you get out of bed or not. See, people think about retirement as saving up a lump sum. Let me tell you the problem with that. How many years are you going to be retired for? Are you going to be retired for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10? Are you going to die in 17 years, 24 years? So having a singular lump sum is of no consequence for retirement. It's still a very stressful retirement because you don't have the ability to live off a certain amount per month because, well, how much am I going to spend per month? Well, I've got to divide the 200,000 I got by the 10 years I got left. Well, you don't know if you've got 10 years left. You could have 20 years left. You could have 100 years left. Who knows what the end result's going to be? So very simply put, Let's understand that the reason we invest is the freedom that it generates for us. Let's understand that investing and the I suppose, sheer miracle of compounding interest allows us to create a level of freedom and a level of cash flow, passive cash flow, might I add, that really we need to be able to build a great, successful life for ourselves and our family. I'm Brad Sugars, and these are some of the business and money basics.